Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am doing my July favourites. So I started doing this last month, so I have my June favourites, which I'll link down below. And essentially it's a place for me to talk about the books that I'm enjoying this month, the apps that I'm enjoying this month, the places that I've been that I enjoyed this month, and just kind of the miscellaneous things that I do that I can just talk about in a video. So don't forget to press the subscribe button to see more from me, and don't forget to like this video if you do, and don't forget to leave me your favourites. So what is it that you are enjoying this month? I'm going to start off with podcasts. So the podcast that I enjoyed in July is a podcast called How to Fail. Now, I attended a book club last month and I didn't read the book because I literally found out about the book club about 2 days before. So instead I was recommended to listen to a podcast. This podcast is hosted by Elizabeth Day, and she essentially interviews people, various different celebrities or authors or just people of some sort of standing, and discusses about their failures and what they learned from them. So I quite like the idea of it because it's a bit different to just talking about their successes and what they did and what they were able to achieve, but rather their failures and the things that they were disappointed in and what they learned from it. And to the one that featured the author from the book Educated, and this was really good. It was really good because it gave me a really nice background of the book and kind of a bit of a synopsis, a bit of a summary, but she's got so many others. So just looking at it right now, I just saw there's one with Dame Kelly Holmes, which sounds like it's going to be really good to listen to. So her mother was pressurised to give her up for adoption as a baby and refused to do so. She also failed at school and joined the army at 16. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is something I want to listen to. So yeah, so How to Fail is a great podcast that I really enjoyed this month. Moving on to books. So the one book that I've really enjoyed this month is this one, Why We Sleep. And I mentioned it in a previous video. It's really just a book about the importance of sleep, why sleep is underrated, and the scientific research going on behind sleep. So he's a neuroscientist himself, and he kind of just fell into the field of sleep and the importance of it and what can happen if you don't have enough sleep, and it's quite detrimental to your body and your mental health, your physical health, not getting enough sleep. And I've only read about a chapter or so, I think, but I am hooked, and like I said, I'm going on holidays soon, so I'm taking this with me. Other book that I'm loving, well, it's not really a book but it's a journal, is this one. It's the International Weekly Journal of Science by Nature. I published in Nature, and when you publish in Nature you are entitled to a free subscription to their journal. Not everyone signs up for it, but I did. As soon as I found out, I was like, yeah, I want it. And it comes every single week. It usually costs £10, but I get it for free. I feel like it keeps me up to track with what's going on in science at the moment, and even if you are doing your own research in your own field, you do kind of get lost, and you get lost in that bubble. It's a very small bubble, but you get lost in it and you don't really realise what's going on around you and the amazing science that's going on around you. So I love this because it kind of has this section called News in Focus and Technology, where it just goes through the main sort of, it's like a bite-sized summary of the recent research. There's like 6 or 7 mini articles about people, climate, space, just random events, climate change, fluid dynamics, molecular biology, biophysics. They also have another section where they go into a bit more detail. So here their focus article is Historical Separations Still Affect Indigenous Children. So kids living with adults who are taken from their families are at increased risk of challenges. And then looking at pressure, so quantum physics, and then looking at transplant research, Ebola, Iran, and I just take it out with me. I read it and then I just leave it on the tube for someone else to enjoy. I've learned so much information from this, like so much random information from it that it's just invaluable. Okay, so moving on to apps that I'm enjoying this month. The app that I'm enjoying this month is Evernote. Now, I downloaded it about 2 months ago, but I hadn't really used it properly last month, so that's why I didn't mention it. But it is my note-taking app. So I used to use just notes on my iPhone, and that did the job, it was fine. But I just wanted some sort of categorization and some sort of organization, like a folder organization. And I looked into different note-taking apps, and I found quite a few. I just found that Evernote was a bit cleaner for me, and it just felt like it suited my purpose, which was literally just to make a few different folders and just to have notes within those folders. Maybe next year I'll change, but It's going great so far. Just love how easy it is. Whenever I think of a video, I'm like, okay, cool. I go to my Evernote app and I've got video ideas, like I've got a video ideas note, and I just write down my video ideas in like check boxes, and then once I've recorded, once I've made that video, I tick it, and that's that. I keep it moving. And I really like the way that Evernote is set up. Like I said, it's just easy, it's clean, it syncs between my laptop and my phone, so when I'm on my laptop and I write something in, it's on my phone straight away. I can also tag and link websites and bookmarks of websites, so that's really great as well. And it's just like, it's just all embedded in everything that I use and everything that I do, which is why I absolutely love it. So that's definitely an app that I'm enjoying this month. The second one is the Goodreads app. Goodreads is a platform that's kind of like a social media platform, but just for books. So you can review books on there, you can find new books, you can add your friends, you can follow your friends, you can keep your own tally of what you've been reading. So I used to use this religiously, I think probably 2 years, for like 2-3 years, about a year ago. So every time I read a book, I'd write it down, I'd give myself a little review, and then I would, like look at the related books to that book and, you know, trying to find new books. And I think I followed my siblings as well on there as well, so that was great. But then I stopped using it because I kind of stopped reading as well last year, and then this year I started reading again, and I started using it again, and I find it really helpful just to keep a tally and a log of what I'm reading. And you're also able to give yourself targets. So say you want to read 12 books in a year, or you want to read 24 books in a year, you can give yourself that target and you can just check up on yourself. If you're someone like me who borrows books and returns them, I do lose count of what I've read quite quickly. So Goodreads is a great way of just keeping tally and just making sure that you are able to achieve your goals of reading, and also kind of build a community as well. I'll leave my Goodreads link down below. I don't think I know what my name is anymore, but I'll leave my name down below if you guys want to follow me and see what I'm reading, then that'll be great. And if you have a Goodreads account, please leave your name down below as well, and I'll follow you. Moving on to TV and films. So as I mentioned before, I don't really watch that much TV or that many films. We went to the cinema the other day and we watched The Lion King, which was really good. So I didn't really watch anything growing up, so I didn't watch it when I was growing up, but I did watch it about 5-6 years ago in theatre. I think I didn't really appreciate it as much as someone else would, because it wasn't part of my childhood. I grew up watching David Copperfield and like Charles Dickens and things like that. I think a lot of us feel that nostalgia and we just want to kind of go back to our childhood, and so it's a great movie to give you that sort of reminder of what it was like being carefree and being a child. And then the next thing that I really enjoyed and I finished watching actually last month is on Netflix, and it's called Knock Down the House, and it features the congresswomen who entered Congress or were running for Congress last year? 2 years ago. It showcased their movement, their political movement, and their political grassroots campaigns to become congresswomen. And one of the women that they followed was Ocasio-Cortez, and of course, as you guys know, she won her seat, so she is currently in Congress. It's inspirational to watch them and their struggles and to see their reasons why. A lot of them had really strong and emotional reasons for why they were running. If you are someone who wants to be inspired by female empowerment and wants to watch someone who really pushed and drove themselves towards success, even though everything was working against her, even though everything was kind of, the status quo was set, everyone knew who would be running every single year, everyone knew who would win every single year, but she just came and completely smashed the game. And it's crazy because you can just see how authentic her happiness was. Like when she won, she was just on the floor, and you could just see how authentic it was. It just wasn't expected. You could tell she just did not expect it at all, and she really put in her all to get there. It was so inspiring. And she said something about her father being the one who inspired her and being the one who really drove her passions for, you know, running for Congress. And yeah, I just highly recommend you guys to watch it. I think it's so inspirational, and it's just so shocking to see the way that those that are in power at the moment belittle women, especially women of colour, especially women of diversity. So she's a Latina, so someone like her who isn't usually in power it's just insane to see the way that people belittle others. I really wish they had followed Ilhan as well, the Somali candidate that is in Congress at the moment. I wish they had followed her too. It'd be nice to see her journey. But that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my favourites for this month. There aren't as many as I usually would have, just because I didn't do that much this month. Don't forget to leave me your comments and let me know what you've enjoyed this month. I absolutely love to hear it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.